There are a lot of good math apps out there that mimic playing with the real math manipulatives that you might have in the classroom. And so I just wanted to show some of these for what are called Cuisenaire rods. Sometimes they're referred to as color rods or color strips. And classrooms will often have sets of these. So there'll be a box and maybe there'll be like I don't know, 50 to 100 of these little white ones and maybe 20 of these red ones and so on down and fewer of the big orange ones there. So here's one of them that I have linked in one of the assignments that your homework assignments. And you can grab these and drop them on the screen. And you can clearly see that they drop in size by 1 unit each and that there are 10 of them. And so these represent our numbers 1 through 10. And we can use them to demonstrate addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And sometimes it's nice to have an organized set of them like that in order that for the young kids when they're playing around and trying to put things together. The grid is nice too. And then when you have these sitting on paper, then it's the challenge of having a grid that fits these. They're typically centimeter by centimeter, and then 2 centimeters long, 3 centimeters long, and so on. So that works out nice. So if you had centimeter graph paper with the real toys, you could play around with them there. So if I count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one thing I might do with kids is, okay, so let's take the dark green block, a block of size 6, and then what other blocks can we use repeatedly to build that? Well, for sure, we could use ones, and we could just stack a whole bunch of ones here, one after the other. And again, the real things are way better, holding them in your hand since we're on the computer. And then we could try to do it with twos. And some kids will right away know that they can do it with twos, but others won't. They're really going to have to sit here and experiment, get them to stack next to each other. Okay. Threes. And again, some kids will remember 3 plus 3 is 6, and they'll just get it. Okay, that's cool. And then can we do it with fours? Ooh, it doesn't look like it, does it? Okay, so that didn't work. So we can use these blocks to illustrate some things. So let's take a screenshot and write the results of what we've accomplished. So this image here, I don't line up perfectly, unfortunately, but they won't when you use the real things either, but they'll be close. So what can I show in this picture here? Well, this picture shows, if I think about multiplication as groups of, I can see that I have 6 groups of 1 to make 6. I could also say I have 1 group of 6 from the top one. Here I have 3 groups of 2. I can see there each of these red is 2 of those units. So 3 groups of 2 gives me 6, or 2 groups of 3. And the order matters when we make that down. Each of these definitely is related to a particular row here. And I can play around with lots of different products, the product being the largest number, the 6 here, by using the individual blocks. We have up to 10, or we could extend it a little bit. Let's clear this. And I could maybe start with a bigger one. Like maybe if I put a 10 and a 4 together, and I ask kids, okay, how many ways can we use a single block to make a train that gives us exactly the same length here? And they can play around, and eventually they'll come to the conclusion that they could use 2 of these browns. Oops, did I miscount? Check it out. I did. Oh, that would be 8, wouldn't it? I miscounted. 2 blacks, there we go. So this shows me that 10 and 4, 14 can be written as 2 groups of 7. So again, lots of multiplication problems we can model with these color rods. And there are different versions of these apps out there. I picked this one for linking to. There's this one here that we can scribble on. And some things I liked about it, I didn't like the ads on this page. So I can grab a block of size 1 and I can lengthen it out to a block of size 2. And these rotate when you click on them. I could pick a block of size 3. So different sets of colors than the other one. I like this one here because most of the actual toys you might find in a math classroom or an elementary classroom, these are the standard colors of those rods. This was another one here. It comes with a set of color rods that you could play around with. And so every time you pull from here, you can also grab another one. And then you can also make rods up here by picking a size and adding the rod in. It drops it down there. And you can play around with shading and you can add values to them. It'll tell you how much each one is worth. If that was a cute one. This one right here was pretty good too. One thing I liked about this one is when you drop a color in and then you click again, it adds them on as a train, which is typically how we play with them. And if you wanted to start a new train, you just move your last block wherever, and then you can start adding to that one. So that one was pretty cute. And this one here was nice too. You can move them around the screen. They're slightly transparent. So when they sit on top of each other, you can tell there's something underneath. So that's kind of nice. So it had some nice features too. So lots of options in playing with these. And we can use them again for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and we'll play with them some more with fractions later on.